All right, guys, welcome back to another MMA Unhinged. Today I'm joined by Roan Crocker. How's it going?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Had a little bit of stumble there on the intro, but we'll go with it. You know, we like to flow. So,
Okay.
a week after Four Nations, it looked like a fantastic event. How was your experience personally?
Yeah, it was class. Like, obviously, I haven't fought in like a tournament style since I did the IMAFs. So yeah, it was good to get 3 fights in a week again. It was just like being out in the first tournament I did. So it was good. Three fights, three good opponents, two unbeaten opponents, and yeah, finishing the final. Happy days.
Yeah, and bringing home that gold. Now, obviously, a really good achievement. Now we look back on it. How does that feel, bringing home the gold?
Yeah, it was mad. Really, like I was. I probably set my barrier a bit low. Really, I was like, oh, if I could medal, that'd be pretty good. But then, like, I looked at the sort of the entrance, and I was like, oh, there's no reason why I can't win this entire thing. So happy to bring back the gold, but I just think like it's solidified like where I'm at. I've shown my level now. People know I'm good, but I think beforehand maybe you would have said I'm so. But this probably shows the most you could say about my skills.
Absolutely, I can't disagree. I feel like you showed everything in the tournament. You're striking, and obviously that grappling. Oh my goodness, it's a weapon.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's obviously that's what I started with, but adding in like that wrestling from Shaky and Carl, and obviously striking from him, it's just made me a complete rounded mixed martial artist, and yeah, showed everything I feel.
Yeah, you talked about appearing on IMAF, but this one was 3 fights in 3 days. What was that like on the body? And was there a little bit of I say exhaustion at the end of it?
Yeah, 100%. Like obviously 3 fights. It's the first time I've done 3 consecutive fights in a row. So when I did the IMAFs, I fought on a Monday, then I had Thursday and Friday, so I had a bit of space in between. So this one was a bit different, 3 fights on the bounce. But no, if I'm honest, I went in with a smart game plan. Like at the end of the day, if you're going to be fighting on consecutive days, you can't afford to be sitting in the pocket, banging it out, getting it injured, taking damage. You know what I mean? It's just not a smart way to approach these fights. And if you want to win, you've got to, like, let's be honest, it was a small cage. Got to grapple and wrestle and keep that damage limitation. You know what I mean? So yeah, after the first fight, like, didn't really have any sort of. I was obviously a bit sore, but in terms of like facial damage, nothing. I didn't really take a strike all weekend, apart from maybe one or two from being on someone's back, which, as you know, is not that powerful. So yeah, damage limitation was key, and I did 3 fights. I think biggest thing I probably felt was a bit of a dead leg from a knee. So all in all, 3 fights and not a lot of damage. I'll take it, you know.
Absolutely, and I mean that's fantastic the way you're looking at it. I spoke to some previous people who fought on Four Nations as well. They also said the same thing as you. Like the cage was a little bit small.
Yeah, it was like I didn't know that was what it was going to be. I saw it on a phone first of all, and I was like, oh, that does look a bit small. And then I turned up, and yeah, it was. But I just, as soon as I saw the cage, and I've said it to a lot of people, but as soon as I saw the cage, I was like, there's no way these guys are going to stop me taking them down and putting them on the fence. Like, there's 100% not happening. So yeah, I was pretty confident once I saw the cage size. But at the end of the day, it don't really matter. You've got to adopt to what you're given, and you.
Exactly, and if you're a striker, surely that's your worst nightmare.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, if you're a mixed martial artist, you've got to be able to do it everywhere. And I think if I had a big cage, I'd have danced around the outside and done a bit of striking. But it's that small cage, you've got to get under them and get underneath them.
Absolutely, and you put it on full display. It was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, I told that we brought home the gold. You're a 3-time BJJ British champion, Cage Warriors middleweight champion. Where does this kind of rank in that accomplishments?
It's definitely way up there. I think I don't really rate my IMAF medal that highly because it was a junior one. So I've won the senior Four Nations. That just sort of proves like it's obviously it's the adult sort of division. So it's no real. You can't really say anything bad about it. You know what I mean? That's probably the most substantial achievement I've probably had in MMA. And yeah, to have the hardest route to gold as well, I think is does speak a bit of volumes because everybody else that I fought, they didn't have 3 fights. Same as the IMAFs the first time, actually. I was the only person in my division that time to have 3 fights as well. So it was the hardest route, but I got the most experience, and that's what I want.
Exactly, and as I said earlier, I spoke to Jordan Little. He said it was all about experience as well, and obviously he said it's all like about experience. Was that the massive, the learning of of the weekend?
Yeah, for sure. Like Jordan's right. Like you've got to be looking at amateur for experiences. You don't want to be like padding your record out and taking fights, easy fights. Like I knew I'd go to this Four Nations tournament. I knew I'd be fighting a UK #1 on topology. And that was what I was excited by the most. I want to test myself, want to test my skills. Like the realistic view was that me fighting Joe Ambler was probably going to be impossible to achieve because he's from up North England and I'm from South Wales. So that was not really a possibility until we met in this tournament. So I seeked out the best competition, and I've proved the level I'm at from fighting these guys instead of fighting bums.
Yeah, and I think it cements that you are, as you talked about, the number one ranked amateur middleweight in the country.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not actually. If you go on Topology, I'm actually ranked number 3. So yeah, that's quite funny, to be honest.
Well, you definitely should be, as you talked about. And you've just won, obviously the English Mixed Martial Association gold medal. So
I know, but ranked number 1 is Sean Clancy, and ranked number 2 is Joe Ambler, and I just beat the pair of them. So I don't know why I'm not number 1.
That's ridiculous. We'll consider yourself ranked number 1. I think they should get that fixed.
Nice one.
And obviously, quick going back to the Four Nations. Just a quick overall breakdown of the fights, the 3 fights, and what you rate your performances.
Yeah, first day, not too. It's a good performance, but it was some things I did very wrong. To be honest, I was just a bit gassed from the journey up there. I didn't expect to be fighting on on Friday. I thought I was just fighting on Saturday and Sunday, and then I found out I was actually fighting on the Friday. So I was a bit depleted. I didn't really sleep the night before because of the weight cut and stuff. But obviously the performances got progressively better as the days went on. I'd say first day was probably the worst performance. Second day was really good because I was fully fed, fully fueled. And then the final, I got to finish in the first round. So they got progressively better. Some of my best performances, I think I got a really good chance to show all my skills. But still plenty to work on and plenty I'm fixing in the gym right now. Yeah,
that's what I like, your mentality. You just said there, plenty to work on. You never, submitted with, that performance. You're always trying to get better.
100%. Yeah, you can't, there's always going to be someone better than you. There's always going to be a reason to try and get better. I think the moment you start thinking that, your skills are there, now you're sorted, I think that's when you start getting worse. I think you always got to be, constantly trying to get better. And at the end of the day, it's mixed martial arts. There's no chance that you're absolutely amazing at every area. Do you know what I mean? I think Rory McDonald said before, the good thing he likes about MMA is that if he's getting annoyed with the striking or something, he can go and train jiu-jitsu, or he can go and train wrestling or Muay Thai or something else. So there's always areas of the game I want to get better at, and that's why I'm always training.
Absolutely, and it was a fantastic event. But your next fight was announced shortly after. It was Cage Warriors. You're defending your belt against James Wamley. Are you looking forward to obviously defending that belt and obviously making another defense in Wales?
Yeah, 100%. It's a Cage Warriors numbered event, so it's the proper pro-sized Cage Warriors cage. So I feel like it's a great opportunity to get some more experience back in a pro-sized cage. Obviously, the canvas is different, so it's a really good opportunity to fight alongside my teammates as well. Obviously, there'll be a big Welsh contingent on the card as well, on the pro card. And I just think it's another opportunity to showcase my skills on a big show.
Absolutely, as you said there, a numbered event, a televised event. I'm not too sure what the situation is, whether you get shown on the UFC Fight Pass, but as you talked about, it's a fantastic experience, and obviously the crowd there, they're going to be backing you 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Nice to have some home fans in. Usually get a good lot of support up, so yeah, it'll be good for all the boys as well, all the boys from the gym.
Then what sort of talk about the James matchup? What sort of matchup do you expect from him that night?
Yeah, I think he'll have good gas tank, good engine on him. He'll likely try and come strike or wrestle me. Wherever he chooses. At the end of the day, I'm good everywhere, so wherever the fight takes her, I'm happy. So I'm happy with the opponent. I'm just grateful I get to get back in there so soon. When it was COVID times, I did 30 months without competing at all. I was used to competing every other month, at least fighting quite regular. And COVID took it all out of play. So I'm chuffed now that I've managed to get a fight in December, March, 3 fights in July, another fight in August, a fight at the end of the year. I'm just making up for lost time. So I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely, and you've got some fantastic, a record behind you in the amateur scene. I know it's floated around your head probably, and you talk about that pro, and I love how you're taking your time. I'm a true admirer of taking your time in the amateur scene.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's no reason to rush. I literally only started training when I was 16. I'm 22 now, so I haven't even been in the game that long to be thinking about turning pro. Granted, my skills may be good, but there's a lot of work to be done, and I know I know my level. There's pros in the gym that I train with. Like I know where I would be if I turnn pro right now. But I just think I don't want to be known for just beating people on the UK scene. Like I've been abroad. I've been to the IMAF before. I fought international opponents as a junior. I want to go and do it as a senior, and really test my skills. There's some amateurs in those IMAF divisions that will never go pro. They're just always going to be like a sort of Cuban boxer or something along those lines. They're just always going to be amateurs. So that's where the best armies are going to be. I want to go and test my skills against those guys, and then I'll know where I'm at if I'm able to medal at these big tournaments with these great guys. There's no reason I shouldn't go pro, but if I'm not able to do that, I know I got to go back to the drawing board and get better.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it. Last question before I let you go, and I think this is going to be a fun one, but how does Brett Johns beat James Gallagher?
Whatever way he wants. Nah, you'll see. Any way he wants, but I think he dominates him. I think he grapples him, and I think he TKOs him or submits him. Genuine. Brett's on a different level.
Yeah, obviously a fantastic matchup stylistically, as you talked about, both, sort of grapplers. But I do give that edge, as you talked about, to Brett Johns. And the striking wise as well, I do believe he can get the better of James as well.
Yeah, of course. Like, look at Brett's CV, his record. Like, he's literally fought current world champion. Pedro Munoz, like, he's been in top 15 for years. And Sabatello is going to be fighting for the belt or world title pretty soon, I believe. So, like, the record speaks for itself. Like, James, unfortunately, hasn't fought anybody on Brett's level, and I think that's going to be the case when they fight.
Yeah, how is Brett looking, obviously, in the gym right now? I saw on the Instagram earlier you were training together.
Yeah. We drive up every day to train together, so he's one of my good friends. He's up in class. Like, at the end of the day, he is a world-class athlete. Like, he is insane. He fights a bantamweight. He'll chuck me about, no problem. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to be fighting at 170 pro. He has the way with me, no worries. Like, he's an absolute pig. It's disgusting what he can do for his size. Like, he is amazing grappler and fighter in general.
Yeah, and you talked about that, obviously one of your good friends. What's it like to obviously have someone, as you talked about, a world-class athlete around you with that wealth of knowledge?
Yeah, honestly, like I owe a lot to Brett and the other boys who were around me when I was sort of getting older and coming up in the sport. Boys like Scott Patterson. They sort of molded me into they told me what a fighter's lifestyle is. You know what I mean? Like, Brett gave me a lot of pointers when I was younger about, like, making sacrifices, putting things first or putting things second, surrounding fighting. And I think, like, I just molded my mindset towards fighting based off of these boys who have been doing it at a high level for a long time. Especially with Brett, like, when I just started training, he had got signed to the UFC, like, shortly after I'd started training, maybe 6 months or whatever. So I'd seen him in the gym. He was just coaching MMA classes, and then all of a sudden he got his call up for UFC Belfast, and the rest is history. But I've just sort of, like, copied him in a way. Like, right, okay, this is what it takes to be truly elite in your sport. I want to go to the level he's been at, so I got to do similar things to him. And he's inspiration. Pleasure to be calling him my friend. You know what I mean? Teammate. Been there for a long time.
Absolutely, I don't doubt that you'll make it to the same level as him, and obviously the same path is a fantastic path as you're talking about. And I'm sure when you get to the big leagues, it will all pay off for him.
100%. He's going to be there pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rowan. It's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you the best of luck with your title defense and Cage Warriors 142. I'll definitely be watching. Wish you the best of luck, and talk to you soon.
Cheers, Lenny. Nice one, mate.
Thank you.